This Korean life.
I've had your name card in the back of my phone since we met in November. You give me your name card at the festival when we met. You took a very nice picture of Jason, myself, Nate, and our friend,
Right.
and our other friend.
No, it's a Swiss-German name, Jaeggi. It's for Jäger, shortish for Jäger, and that means hunter.
Okay.
100 years ago, when they started to name the people, not only with the first name in my country, but also family name. So they put the job, what they did.
Yep.
My ancestors were some hunter.
Okay.
Just Freddy, call me Freddy.
Okay.
Please. Everybody calls me Freddy. So.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of This Korean Life, number 136, featuring Alfred, Freddy, Jaeggi. Welcome. Thank you for making it. It's a pleasure to see you again. You made a very big first impression on me and Nate when we met a few months back at the Global Festa. You were introduced to us through, I think, Mr. Jason Teal. You are part of his photography club.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
You sent us a really, really nice picture and a follow-up email. Very beautiful to Nate. Thank you for that.
Some history
Yeah.
from Europe point of view about
Can I read it?
Canadian.
Yeah, can I read it?
Canadian,
That was I got it.
soldiers.
Yeah, that was that touched me. Although even though my grandparents didn't fight in the war, I think my English side of my family, he might have been in the Navy, but I don't know if he saw war. But it was still a very touching email, and I'd like to read it. It says, "Dear Nate, it was a pleasure for me to meet you and Brian yesterday at the festival. Thanks from my side as well. And to your team for excellent organization, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, today is Canadian Remembrance Day.
Oh,
By looking at Jason's the poppy on his jacket,
probably.
yes, and looking at these four tough Canadian guys, don't know about that. Some feelings hit quite hard, and they're quite hard to explain. It must have been tough guys like you more than 80 years ago who stormed the Juno Beach in Normandy and helped save us in Europe from Barbary. My generation will never forget the sacrifice of your grandfathers who lived their lives as brave Canadian soldiers to save us. Nay, forgive me for my nostalgia in this matter, but my father was active in the resistance and would not have survived World War II without the liberation of Europe by the Allied forces." Awesome.
I visited the
nice
place there in Normandy
Yeah.
some 8 years ago, so it's impressive. Also, the Canadian part, the Juno Beach, where Canadians landed there, and they made a big sacrifice.
Wild.
I was in the army myself, of course. In Switzerland, it's compulsory, so
How long is
I
it?
got an idea how the fight was there on this place.
Is it still mandatory these days? Military?
Yes.
How long is the service?
Yeah, it's special. We have a boot camp of 5 to 6 months first, at the age of 19.
Mm-hmm.
Then we are then transferred to some front units, where we are serving every year for 1 month during about 9 years.
Oh,
every
interesting.
year.
So your life can continue as normal.
Yes, we take our equipment home, everything, uniform, backpack, gas mask, gun, ammunition, everything comes home. And in case of mobilization, we are supposed
You're ready to go.
But once a year, you do have to do 1 month of service?
1 month.
For 9 years.
Yes.
By the way, we're
between
talking about
some
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
I don't think we mentioned yet.
Oh, sorry.
Is it women as well, or only men?
No, only men.
Only men. So
now they started also, in my time, only men.
Yeah.
Some help functions also with women. But now the women are fully integrated.
Wow.
Still not compulsory for the women.
Wow.
But they are fully integrated in also the fighting units.
Wow.
So, there are some tough women around, you know that.
I met lots of tough German women. Lots of tough German women.
Well, that's an interesting system because in Korea, whatever you're doing, you just taking 2 years, or maybe it's a year and a half now, but you stop whatever you're doing. Whether you're BTS or a professional athlete, that's the mandatory 2 years you're in, and then you're out. But I think, I don't want to say it's a summer vacation, but 1 month a year doesn't seem so bad over 9 years.
Yeah, we are.
You can continue as normal.
I like full in the working process, integrated. And
I like the age, at 19, you graduate high school, lots of people don't know what they want to do yet. It's kind of a finding yourself period. And going into something like that and having some training and structure and discipline and learning respect and stuff is probably really good for them.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good school for the young people.
Yeah.
It was also for me be in a unit first time actually.
Yeah, very
And,
cool.
Having to rely on it.
Yeah.
You did not. It's not compulsory in Canada.
No.
No, Canada's army is a little bit lacking.
Yeah.
It's an interesting time because now with the geopolitical stuff and the kind of rift with America, Canada's saying, hey, we can't depend on these guys. We haven't had to do anything for, 60 years, depending on the Americans to take care and protect the continent. But now when Trump throws out all this tariff bullshit, all these other things, and Canada says, hey, maybe we can't depend on these guys all the time. Maybe we need to bolster our military. So there's been a huge increase in spending now to bolster the Canadian military.
I think there's a connection with Korea as well. Or isn't Canada buying submarines?
Yes. Trying from Hanwha Ocean.
Yeah.
Submarines in competition with the Germans.
Yeah.
Still not decided fully yet.
I don't know.
I thought they won I thought Hanwha won the contract, no? 2 or 3 months ago?
Hanwha?
I thought Hanwha won the contract, yeah.
I might have.
And it was based on that it would take the Germans a lot longer to deliver. What was basically the end decision was that Hanwha can get them out much faster than the Germans could. So
exactly,
I think that's why they went with it.
The Germans, they scaled down their production of warfare after the end of the Cold War. So, it's only on a paper project up to now, the German project that I was reading. Whereas here, Hanwha Ocean, of course, they are continuously building for the Korean Navy.
Sure. So, and bringing it back, you are into photography. You are into motorcycles as well. Yeah. How long have you been driving a motorcycle?
He just self-claimed that he's the oldest Harley rider in Korea.
Wow.
Well, I got my license 71 as a student in Switzerland. And since then I was always sometimes on, sometimes off driving motorbikes. It was a big gap in between because after university, marine engineering university, I went at sea for many years. I was a seaman. So no motorbikes on the ship.
Sure.
But when I came back, I had in Switzerland also some BMW driving around there.
Very nice.
Then in the 80s when I stayed here, I bought here a Delim 125 motorbike.
Yeah.
Was driving around 6 years with that.
Wow.
Have you ever done any big adventures in Europe? Now you see lots of the guys on the BMWs driving all across the continent.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any big journeys like that?
No. Only in Switzerland, this mountain pass roads there.
When I lived in West Africa, I loved seeing the wild Europeans with the BMWs driving from North Cairo to Cape Town, all across East Africa on a motorcycle. Wow! And from Senegal to whatever, Cameroon, just right across the Sahara. And I go, wow, you guys are wild. But those BMW bikes, that's the standard for the gold standard for the adventure riding, for sure.
For when you drive a bike, is it for commuting? Do you go back and forth to work, or is it just pure joy riding?
No, here in Korea. Here in Korea, I'm retired since 2014, I have to say. And after retirement in Switzerland, I came with my Korean wife here out
Yeah.
Korea. And then I bought a bike, so it's only for fun.
Okay.
Is it for one or for two?
Yeah, it's for two. I added the
back
second
seat.
seat. Normally it started for one, but then in case my wife would like to come or to bring my wife to the sauna there,
Sure.
I have the bike up.
My wife
in,
likes to come.
So how often do you have a passenger?
My wife is afraid like hell. This old guy forward. She don't trust me anymore. So she's, as I said, only coming to the sauna, 500-meter drive. There. I can give her the ride, but that's it.
Nice.
And I loved this lonely drives up in the mountain hills, lonely drives up in the mountain hills of the East Coast. There.
Yes.
These quiet roads, no cars. This I like.
I was going to say, what do you think about the driving in Korea? Because in the city, it's pretty risky for a motorcycle. But like you say, when you're out, if we go out to a temple or something in the countryside and we see a couple Harleys driving, we go, wow, that looks so nice, peaceful, relaxing.
Yeah, it's. I try to go away from the big traffic because it's really boring to drive on the weekend in the line with the other tourists in the car.
You can just drive between them. Right?
Yeah, okay. They are doing it. So being retired, of course, I can use this bike then during the week when less tourists are in Gyeongju and on this place.
Must be really nice.
Yeah.
I profit of this, as I said, loneliness alone with the nature and the
But that's similar to Switzerland, correct? I had a Swiss friend who lived in the mountains, and he showed me a picture of his house and his motorcycle, and he might have showed me a video of him driving to work, and it was just, I don't know. If he showed me today, I would say it's AI, but just like this, up and down through the hills, it was beautiful. When you're driving in Korea, are you reminded of your driving days back in Switzerland?
Yeah. Okay. Well, here there are hills. In Switzerland we have some higher mountains. Also the roads are going more high up. But yes, I like this
swervy,
roads here in the hills.
The long and winding roads.
Many Koreans are infatuated with Switzerland, and they saw a movie, they saw some pictures, they saw a magazine, the dream, go to Switzerland, go to Switzerland. All my university students, what's your dream vacation? Switzerland, Switzerland, Switzerland. Mm-hmm. And now you've chosen to retire here. Was that an easy decision or a difficult one?
No, it was not an easy decision because when I came back from sea, I was working, they called me in the head office of the company. As a superintendent first, and then later I was promoted to technical director. So I was 11 years in this position before I retired, and actually I preferred to stay in Switzerland, but my wife got sick. She had heavy operation on pancreas tumor and then breast cancer operation. So a lot of controls have to be done to see that this cancer is not developing somewhere else, metastasis or so.
Right.
And she did not feel well in Switzerland, communicating with the medical personnel, with the doctors, the nurses in French.
Yeah.
She speaks French better than me Korean, but so we decided to come here for all these checkups she has to do regularly, where she can communicate in her own mother tongue with the doctors,
I think
with the nurses. And
the system here is quite good too, I think, in regards to cancer. Or how would you compare the level of service compared to Switzerland?
Switzerland has a very good service, I have to say, but it's very expensive also. We are paying is covered partially by the health insurance, but we are paying a hell of a lot for this health insurance. We paid maybe monthly $1,500 in premium in Switzerland for the 2 people. And here we are with the daughter, our daughter who is working. We are insured, you know the system. Insured with the family there. So it's, and the system is very good here.
I was in Switzerland last year, or last summer, and there's nothing cheap in Switzerland.
You went there?
Everything's expensive. Well, we had a great time there, but nothing is cheap. Nothing is cheap. So expensive insurance, but the quality of life and the standard of living is also nice.
Depend where you go. If you go in this tourist traps restaurant, then of course you pay a hell of a lot of money for a meal. But we Swiss people, when we are traveling around, we always use these restaurants incorporated in the shopping centers.
Okay.
We have these 2 shopping center line, Migros and Coop. And they have all these restaurants. It's kind of self-service restaurant. You're choosing the food you want. You go to a desk where you can order the steak.
Perfect.
Also the hot meal. And then you go to the cashier and you pay what you have on the plate, and you go for the seat.
Beautiful.
And it is cheap compared with the other high-class restaurants or tourist traps, as I said before. So whenever you go to Switzerland, look out for these shopping centers and go there for each.
Sure. All right. Great advice. One more before we get into your history in Korea. Are you into astronomy as well? Or do you enjoy looking at I don't know if you enjoy taking pictures of the planets and the stars?
Astronomy.
Yeah.
How do you know I'm interested in astronomy?
We contacted the police. We've been listening to your phone for months. I happened to see on Facebook you had a picture of Saturn and Uranus.
Right.
I believe. I'm a huge
Saturn and Jupiter.
Maybe that's what it was. I think, is it this week? Maybe all of the planets are lined up with the moon. Is that correct?
The last 3 days, yeah.
It was the last 3 days?
Yesterday, I think, was the parade, the planet parade. The day before was something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was some years ago when
2020.
Jupiter and Saturn were aligned.
Yeah.
No, I have no equipment to make the astronomy photography, which I would love, but it's an expensive equipment. You have to some motors that the lens can follow the movement of the Earth's rotation and things like that. So it's an expensive hobby. What I do, I'm rather reading books about astronomy.
Nice.
That's interesting for me.
I enjoy the James Webb Telescope pictures. Nothing, any problem you have, any worries you have in your brain, you look at something from James Webb Telescope, and you go, whatever problem I have on this planet it's not a big problem at all, you know.
You are the philosopher, I hear. You can get scaling down our problems we have by looking at these huge dimensions.
Even I do it every Christmas as well. We have a friend who lives out in the countryside, and you go out, you know, in the city you can't see you can't see the stars or the sky well, but when you go out there, even in the countryside here, it's still the light pollution affects what you can see, but you still get that feeling of smallness. But it's very freeing. It's a great thought that I have every Christmas out there.
Have you ever visited the Science Center here?
No.
They have
it's on my schedule.
They have an astronomy observatory, and we bring the kids maybe once every 2 or 3 months when things like this last week, there was 3 days in a row of very unique things happening. And we didn't go this time. We just got back from our trip. But usually we go every probably 2 or 3 months, and we bring them there, and they have nighttime observations when the skies are clear, whatever.
They do it at this one by our house?
Sure. Yeah. They have. Have you been up there and seen all those microscopes they have, or telescopes?
No, I thought that was only in Uchugan.
No, they have it here.
They do the night ones
They have
here?
special programs here, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta go.
And they have some really, really cool equipment, and they open up the roof, and then, yeah, there's some really cool programs there.
Explaining to the children,
The children,
yeah.
and to
Yeah.
you.
I think it's cool for the adults too.
Yeah.
It's interesting,
I would
and just
go,
to
I
see the
must go
quality
there.
of the equipment they have and the hardware they have is really wild. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
my kids. enjoy it.
Normally they have these observatories a little bit out of the
City.
light pollution,
Yeah,
as you
yeah,
said
yeah.
before. But here is more or less, maybe there, near the Mundu station is less population, less light. Maybe
Yeah.
it's okay there.
Cool. Very nice.
How was your New Zealand trip?
Yes, it was fantastic. We really enjoyed. We were 2 weeks about Australia, 2.5 weeks Australia, and two weeks New Zealand.
Oh,
Yeah, we had a fabulous time. Very adventurous, and we had rented a car, so we were driving all over. And speaking of the stars, we were at the Tekapo International Astrology Reserve, I think. It's called the best stargazing place in the world.
huh.
I don't know if it's true or not, but the Milky Way that night was like a Milky Way. It looked like someone dumped a creamer across the sky. It was just, it was incredible.
You could watch it move too, eh?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
that's wild.
minus the Koreans and the Chinese coming and turning their flashlights on, and apart from that, but we went to 2 or 3 places, but the stars there were phenomenal. I would argue that Canada is one of the best places, especially I'm from further north. You get stars every night. It's beautiful, and Switzerland in the mountains. But that was a really, really cool experience, especially for the kids, to just look up and see just that. It was just wild.
But imagine centuries ago, people saw that every night.
Yeah,
People saw that every night. What a treat!
yeah, it
Oh,
guided
man.
them through the night. Yeah, it was an interesting comparison to Europe and there. I think Switzerland in general was relatively clean compared to the France, Germany, Italy. They've just, like Canada, they seem to have gone downhill a lot. Graffiti everywhere, all the old buildings, the beautiful architecture with graffiti everywhere, homeless people all over, beggars, scammers, pickpocket, everywhere you go. And
You speak of France or Switzerland?
no, France, Germany, Italy, everywhere we went. Switzerland, compared to them, was kind of a cut above, maybe a little cleaner, a little nicer.
It started also in Switzerland because we have a free agreement that all the people from the European Union
Right.
can enter without any
Right.
pass
Restrictions.
or check. So, of course, people from Romania and Bulgaria, gypsies are
They want the
entering,
Franks. Lots of gypsies everywhere.
are entering, and they're begging
Yeah.
on the corners. Something which I did not see when I was
Yeah.
still living in Switzerland. But then I go every few years back to Switzerland. I see more and more.
I guess I can also say Austria. Austria was very, very nice. Very nice. But France, England, Germany, Italy, oh,
You should go to Hungary.
Yeah,
Hungary,
I would
the
love to.
Hungarians, they refuse to take any asylum seekers.
Yeah.
And you
I
are
mean,
safe there.
we grew up in Canada, very multicultural, very diverse, but it's just the level of it now is just getting. I think it's overwhelmed the system, and it's hard. There's no way to control how fast it's changing. So Australia, New Zealand was, wow. They told me they're like, oh, it's going downhill. It's changing so fast, and I thought, wow, you should go to Canada, America, Europe. It's it's 20 years faster than here. Australia, New Zealand was, nobody was smoking. I didn't see garbage everywhere. No beggars, no homeless people. It was what a breath of fresh air. it was like, wow, it's clean. People respect the culture, the environment, the way of living. It was just so different than my past summers in Europe, Canada, America. So yeah, again, I think traveling is probably one of the best educations you can get, and to show the kids all those different things, and they notice it. They're like, Australia's great. Nobody smokes here.
That's because smokes are $50 a pack.
In Europe,
No.
yeah. In Europe,
They're 45.
I can't believe how many people still smoke in Europe. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Wow.
So your first journey over was in the mid '80s.
You came to Korea first in the mid 80s.
I came as a young seaman, third engineer on a German container ship
Wow.
in 1980, summer 1980.
Wow.
The year,
Yeah, I'm born.
You're
You got a
born,
good
yeah.
memory. Wow.
And it was still curfew. We came to Busan to load some containers there.
Uh-huh.
And curfew at night, so we the seaman had either to stay in the hotel, Texas Street there.
Texas Street, yeah.
Oh my God.
It must have been wild in the 80s.
With some girls, I hope my wife will not listen. Or to go back to the ship before midnight. So
Wow.
we did this. And I was also entering the train station to look around there on the way from the pier where the ship was to Texas Street, where the entertainment for us seamen was.
Was Texas Street still was it heavily Russian influenced at that time, or what was it like?
No,
Because the last 20, 25 years, it's got a very Russian, very, very Russian feel to it. What was it before?
It was the time of the Soviet Union. There were practically no Russian girls around.
Mm-hmm.
There were still Korean girls there in the bars.
Wow.
So completely different probably to now. I'm not,
Yeah.
I was many years now there. But it was nice, of course. We had, as young people, we had a nice evening, a nice night there in the Texas City. That was my first time in Busan, in Korea. Then I came back 1985. I was sailing first on the German ships, container ships. Then I changed to a Swiss company where they have bulk carriers. Bulk carriers are ships transporting iron ore, coal, or grain. So I was sailing on these ships, and then 1984 the company asked me to go for supervision to Japan, to Nagasaki, where the company planned to build 2 ships in the shipyard. So I stayed 1 year there for the 2 ships. Bought also a motorbike. Driving on the left side of the road.
Sure.
Wow.
And then a year later, 1985, they made a contract here with Hyundai Shipyard for that was 2 bulk carriers, then 4 bulk carriers in the second series, 6 bulk carriers, Panamax size. This is the size which is passing the Panama Canal.
Okay. You call it Panama size?
Panamax.
Oh, wow.
So rather big ships. We built this. I was in charge for the machinery of these ships as supervisor until 1990. 6 years we were living in the foreigner compound. Great experience. All Western people. Because the shipbuilding supervision, also the classification societies, I don't know if you understand. These are the representatives of the insurance, which are also inspecting and following the building of a ship, and must sign for it that everything is okay, that we can get the cover of the insurance.
Important.
Everybody was Europe or American or Canadian.
How many? I'm fascinated with the size of the Maersk Sealand container ships they put out of there now. They're just everyone says what's the best things to do in Korea. I think the DMZ is really, really cool, the North Korean border, and I think the Hyundai shipyard. I don't think the average person can comprehend how big it is until you're in the shipyard and go,
wow. It's the biggest shipyard in the world.
They're just massive, and they put it together like Legos, and it's just fascinating. I would love to go there once a week and just, do that drive around. I've been there many, many times, and it just blows my mind every time. How big were the container ships in 1980 that you were sailing from Europe?
The container ships of these German companies were also Panamax ship. My second ship was a Panamax size container ship on the Far East route between Hamburg and Tokyo, Yokohama.
But would those be back then 10,000, 20,000 containers?
They had, at this time, they had 6,000 containers, 6,500 containers, much smaller than now.
So you must also marvel at the size of them now.
Yeah, of course, it's incredible.
They're incredible. Wow.
Later on, I was also on some smaller ships which had their own gear for discharging containers. This is much better for the people working on board because the port calls are much more interesting. When you have your own gear, you can call the small ports.
Yeah.
I was on one ship calling many ports in the Caribbean, in Honduras, Guatemala, in Aruba,
cool.
all these islands there, Jamaica. And these big ships, what you see here, they of course can never go there.
Never. Yeah.
So it was a paradise for us seamen on the small ships, on the small container ships, seeing all these tropical paradises and being even paid for it.
Yeah.
My father used to work on the ships in Canada, loading grain.
Okay.
On the big ships carrying the wheat to China, to Japan, across Asia. And we had gone on them as kids, and those big vats, I mean, they're huge, but we could run up and down the deck there and just go, whoa. They felt like as big as a football field. They were so huge, and Canada produces a lot of grain, and those elevators, once they start loading, they have those chutes, and it just, it's amazing to watch how much grain they can put in those ships. Really, really impressive.
And very fast. That changed a lot for the seaman because also loading containers, it's very fast. So we are coming into port and staying only hours there, and then the containers are loaded. And during these hours, we have to do some maintenance. Was like their own chief engineer on board, so I was responsible for all the maintenance on board. And this maintenance is mainly done when the engine is not turning, so there was no more going ashore, hitting the bars.
Yeah.
Like that.
Just have a quick look from the deck.
For the seaman's life.
Yeah. So we're mentioning how much the ships have changed over the years, and you mentioned the what do you call it? The ship, the compound where you lived. The compound now in Ulsan is gone. That's been destroyed, and they built there. What other big changes have you seen in Ulsan since you first arrived? What are some of the big changes? The reason I ask, we have another retired engineer friend, and he told me a story years ago about being in this area of Ulsan in Mugodong, and he was looking at real estate, and he said 1 pyong, so 3 meters squared, to purchase 3 meters squared of land was obegwon. It was 50 cents. And just thinking, that was in 1985, and hearing stories from my wife who says when she was young, Samsandong, now where the Lotte department store, Hyundai department store, she said they were pig farms. They were just regular farm. It was just fields, and no one could ever imagine that some of these things, or that department stores pop up out of nowhere. What are some big noticeable changes for yourself?
Maybe just some context first is, I checked in 1985 it was 500,000 people here. Currently we're about 1.2 million. So it would have been very rural maybe back then. But go ahead and give us some insight.
We were living in the foreign compound, as I said, Vegogin sat there, and going to downtown, there was no this Asano Road along the river.
In downtown that would not be Samsan, that would be
Shine.
The other side of the
Old
river.
downtown.
Yeah, there was the
it was
old
just downtown.
Hotel. This was the downtown.
Koreana Hotel, yeah.
Wow.
So this was with the restaurants, with the bars where we went then. Okay, they had of course they had also some nice bars there around the shipyard for all these foreigners.
Yeah.
So
was there tall buildings like you see now? Were they all just one floor buildings that they had some?
Two-story buildings, of course. Some of them you can still see.
Still now,
here in Korea, but all these high rises did not exist. When we were driving to, let's say, to the highway for going to Busan with our cars, there was nothing. There was just the bus station was there, the train station, and the bus station. And then nothing, rice fields left and
crazy,
right, until the industrial tower there, this roundabout was already this tower.
Go up top?
Yes. But on the way from the bus station to this tower there was not much.
Nothing,
some buildings, some two-story buildings.
Yeah.
And then there we could hit the highway. Big changes. Of course, also the culture of Korea, the education. For going into a bus, everybody was trying to push to go into the bus. Nowadays, people are well educated.
I think we're still working on that one.
We went we had to go out every 3 months as supervisors to renew our visa.
You just go to Japan and
so we went mainly
Fukuoka.
to Japan, Fukuoka.
Wow.
But also went one time to Taipei, Taiwan. And my wife came with me. She had no passport at the time. Koreans did not travel. So for applying to a passport, she had to go to Busan. First make one day or a half day education training.
Wow.
How to, in another country, how to stay in line at the airport for immigration, not the Korean way of life.
Really?
Going in a bubble there.
Wow.
And then she received the passport, and then
she passed.
We went together to Taipei.
That's incredible.
When did you get married?
I met her 85.
Okay.
Quite early at the beginning when I was there. She was also there working in the Henday shipyard, and we met there. But married we got much later on, after some time. I had, she did first come to Switzerland, and I was then called to Switzerland there, as I said, as superintendent to work, no more at sea. So until finally she came to Switzerland, there were some years in between.
Yeah.
So we finally got married in 95.
Wow. I think maybe a big one too might be the toilet system, where they were all squatter toilets, correct?
Right.
Like that was, even in Seoul.
It was still like that when I came.
There were some, but I mean, there was none. I would imagine there was maybe in the bars. Was there normal toilets? I'd say not squatter
maybe
toilets.
The bars, yes, but in the homes, yes, there were already the sitting toilets.
In the compound. But I have a teacher who is teaching around the time of the Olympics, and she said she had to educate the children, like, this is a regular toilet, I don't know, standard toilet. Don't stand on the, don't stand on it. It's not for standing. This is for sitting. And they had to kind of educate the kids how to use it. So,
which is funny. Now you see the signs in Chinese, don't stand on the toilets, for the Chinese tourists, learning that you're not supposed to stand on them. It's only a few years ago they were teaching the Koreans.
I think the Chinese toilets might be the scariest of all. Right? When you go into the bathroom and it's just a line with no dividers, yeah.
That's what it was like here.
No dividers in China.
5 or 6 squatters.
Well, I remember that in Korea when I came. There was places where it was just concrete rows, just squat and do your business.
Was there
with nothing?
No dividers between you?
Like a trough for. Yeah.
Oh, I'd pee in a trough.
No,
easier than a
trough for dumping.
Poop beside you.
No.
Wow.
When did you came, Brian?
2004.
Right.
Wow.
2004.
2004.
After the World Cup.
Oh,
I was expecting a little modernity, but holy man, we still had a few Zhongtong bathrooms around. I mean, we laugh, but I still can find stories of people in these days going to the bathroom and going, there's no toilet paper. Shit. Hey, can you bring me some toilet paper? It's outside. It's not in the stall. And you go,
so you had to.
Are guys eating it? Or you have to announce. Like, I remember Busan Station, it wasn't even in the bathroom. It was outside of the bathroom. So you'd walk up and they'd be like, he's going for a big shit.
Yeah.
You would advertise to the whole station how, you're going for a dump. And then you would bring it in. But I remember Jimmy Yoon was one of my first ones. He'd be like, hey, bro, can you bring some toilet paper? I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, I'm in the bathroom, but there's no paper. Well, where is it? It's outside in the hall. What? So, and still these days, you still have those people run into those issues where the toilet paper is not even in the stall. So, bathrooms in Korea are a living legend.
No, it was definitely a big change. These are now 40 years since I came. Yeah. First time really working here in HHI, and
the bathrooms have come a long way though. Huh? We have now, they're air conditioned, they smell nice, they're clean. We got
in public.
Yeah, it's come.
But also
come
food was difficult for us. Western food, especially to get. There was this shopping center, Henday Shopping Center, near the shipyard entrance there, where the hospital is in Bangkok. There was some rice we could buy and even some bread later on, baguette bread. But I never saw a sausage or something like this. I was starving for a sausage.
No?
Being
no sundae? The blood sausage?
Korean blood sausage, the black sausage.
I was not looking for that. Maybe they had it, yes. But I remember then the first sausages, Western style sausages, were banana sausages, where they mixed the meat inside with bananas, smashed bananas.
Jesus Christ, why would
that mustn't have been what you were looking for either.
Taste was terrible.
Good
now,
Lord.
Incredible, you can get everything.
Well, I don't think 2007 when I came was much better. I think that this is only within the last 10 years or so that we can really get, maybe since Costco came, that we can get everything we want.
I'd say around that 2006, 2007, when Costco opened in Daegu, I would take the bus to Daegu, and I felt like world's strongest man. I'd get 4 Costco bags. Only one of our buddies had a car, and we would, what do you want? I need cheese, sausages, whatever. And you'd come back, I'd get off the bus at Shimbok Rotary, And I'd go, okay, here we go, world's strongest man. 70 kilos of Costco groceries walking up the hill. But now you can get cheese at 7-Eleven. And so you can get kielbasa at 7-Eleven. It's incredible now how fast it's changed.
Hey, 10 points for pronunciation on that, by the way.
Yeah.
They had a French shopping center, Carrefour.
Carrefour, yeah.
Near the airport.
Yeah.
And, it was quite good. Before they had Costco.
It was Carrefour and Walmart. Walmart was here for quite a while.
Yes, I went there.
Didn't last very long. Tesco or Home Plus.
For some tools, some nails, some...
Yeah. What was Bangojin like back then? I know what it's like from the 2000s, but what was it like before that?
It was actually a big fish market.
Fishing, yeah.
Down there. So we went from the foreigner compound, we drove down there to buy our fish.
Mm-hmm.
It was very lively, or lively.
Lively, yeah.
Lively.
Bar stands there around.
Similar to what it is now with all those little bars along the...
Yeah, there are very few. It was much more.
Sure.
Because it's also the clientele now they have in the shipyard. The foreign clientele diminished
significantly.
very much.
Yeah.
At my time, our team was consisting only of European people. And now they're all Koreans. Companies are employing Korean supervisors to supervise the building process of these ships. At my time, all foreigners, and these foreigners, of course, most of them had no family, so they spent the evening in these bars.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was an interesting shift, which must have been around 2010, maybe? Because before 2010, it was all single guys. And I don't know if they were single, but they were here by themselves. And they would never come to the other side of the city. They would just stay in Donggu. Everything they needed was in Donggu. But the Italians, the Germans, the French, the Swiss, the Canadians, Americans, they were always just there. And we had a couple friends out there, and because of hockey and playing hockey, I knew a bunch of the engineers, but we would go out there, and then we'd say, hey, why don't you guys come to our side of the city, to Samsandong? And they're like, yeah, we heard lots about it, we'd like to go, but we don't know what to do, because they don't speak Korean, they don't know the etiquette, they just go to the seaman bars in Donggu.
Living on the compound, there's no real reason to... The compound was still around in 2010.
But to get a taste of Korea, of Ulsan, like it was weird how little they knew about the rest of the city. Mm-hmm. Everything was only Donggu. And
every evening, of course, was big party in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
This foreigner compound. Yeah. We had a very good clubhouse. You could even eat there.
Yeah. Bands, and it was great.
Yeah. We had the speakers here for a while.
They made there.
Well, in the last years of it, we used to hang out there. And we'd go there for the Halloween events, the Christmas events, and the band playing. We would go there and hang out there. Yeah. But because we had a couple of friends teaching at the school, so we would go. But somewhere around 2010, it changed, maybe just before that, 2008 maybe, because then it started to be families. And everybody was coming over with a wife and kids. And they no longer wanted to live out there. They wanted to live in Skyrex in Samsan and send their kids to Busan, to the school in Busan. Mm-hmm. And it was a significant shift between these wild young guys with all this money, and we'd say, hey, come to Samsandong and party. And they go, whoa, this is crazy. So it was kind of like we would guide them around Samsandong or Mugadong, and they would take care of us when we go to Donggu. And it was kind of a culture exchange within the city. It was really interesting. But then in 2010, I think Sean and
Sherry.
But that whole group that played hockey with us, they all had kids here. We knew all kinds of guys, and they all lived at Skyrex or across the river. Whatever that one is, straight across the river, the big ones, the two tall towers. So it was kind of a shift out of Donggu and to here, and they started sending kids to Busan to school. And now, like you say, it's decreased significantly. There's not many Western engineers here anymore. And now I think even with the Koreans supervising and the East Asians. Now there's a lot of Indian guys.
Indians took over, and
that are
of
here.
course the Koreans.
So there's only a few Western guys left now. But yeah, a significant couple shifts there in the Donggu and the tearing down of Satek. I think now a lot of Western people there's no community for them. They really lack that lively atmosphere that you said.
No, it was beautiful. We had every Sunday a hash run.
Yeah.
You know.
Hash House Harriers.
Hash house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. I've only heard when I first came here that I would see that posted here and there. What is that? Was that a running group?
A hash is a running group, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You run every...
hash is different in Canada.
So for me from Europe, it's completely new. That
Yes.
I don't know if this is British or American. Anyway, it was interesting. So nearly every Sunday we had this house run, and then later on the beer party in the garden.
And they had the ball, the British ball. What was that one? All the guys would come in their kilts and
the Scots.
And the guys, you guys were all in your tuxedos, and there was some wild nights out there with some big parties.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Nobody.
That was in the 80s. Yeah.
Nobody held back. Wait, but a lot of that still existed in the early 2000s. A lot of that, I mean, it's obviously changed, but the lively atmosphere, the partying, all the wives were really active in the community, and everybody was kind of contributing and making stuff happen. And now it's almost like there's no community. It's very hard to get the engagement and the involvement from the people related to the shipyard now. It's not easy.
Here is mainly now the teachers.
No, I'd say it's factory workers and students. International students have risen drastically, and
they're the two biggest groups.
The foreign workers.
Yeah, but they are coming from the former Soviet republicans.
Uzbeks, Kazakhs, lots of Nepalese, Bangladeshi, Sri Lankans.
And I don't think they are mingling too much with
it's very different culture.
Western people.
Yeah, very different cultures.
We need more culture festus, but we say the landscape has changed, the culture has changed outside of work. Within Hyundai, I think the working conditions for the engineers, for the workers in Hyundai, that's changed quite a bit, hasn't it? I'm sure you've seen, it's probably night and day. Very different.
It changed 87.
In 87.
Have you heard about the big strike action they had in August 87 in Hyundai?
I would like to hear more about it.
It started actually as a political demonstration from the students in June already, 87.
Okay.
They had some demonstrations against the authoritarian government of General Chung at the time.
Yep.
It was a military government.
Yep.
And there was an uprising for more freedom, and this was then taken over in August by the worker.
Wow.
First it was only a student.
Yep.
Then by the worker in August who wanted independent unions. So they took over the shipyard, the big shipyard, Hyundai shipyard. They occupied it. They camped there, they lived there during weeks.
Wow.
Blocked everything off. Then they made a big demonstration to downtown, where they put these first truck to clean out the way, the police out of the way. Police deployed about 60,000, if I remember right.
Wow.
60,000 police at this time. There was police was branch of the army.
Yeah.
Young guys serving in the army. They were then serving there as army police actually.
Yeah.
That's how they got so many people there together, 60,000 of these young police people. And 40,000, I was reading, worker, together with 30,000 family members.
Yeah.
All of them went to downtown to the city hall for a big demonstration. Fighting broke out on the road with tear gas, and it was quite serious, this fighting. Even some of the workers tried to escape into a foreigner compound when they were chased by the police, and then we had also some tear gas there inside. And then my boss said, Freddy, it's getting dangerous here in Bangajin. Go to Busan. Go in a hotel there in Busan for a few days until the situation is calming down. So I was with my small pony too there. And
you had a pony too? Wow.
My wife with me. We tried to drive over from Hending to Mippo Tokyo, over the hill there. Yeah. And there, all of a sudden, was these two groups clashed into each other, the demonstrators and the police. And demonstrators used Molotov cocktails.
Wow.
And
pretty intense.
We tried to turn around. There was also bus blocking the road. We could not go to Mippo.
The Hyundai Pony had 4-wheel drive though. You can just push the button and drive over any terrain, no?
And this pony, one of these soju bottles filled with petrol, fell under my car and started to burn. So
well, the pony has the bomb plate underneath as well.
My ass got hot slowly, so I had very dangerous time to turn the car around away from this burning Molotov cocktail under the car. Okay, the car has a metal structure underneath. It's not just boom starting to burn. So anyway, I could turn despite of the bus in front of me, and we went then again back the other way to the highway to Busan, and after a week or so we came back. Then
I wish I had a story that cool in my whole life. That's awesome.
So it must have been wild to see the growth and to live through that in Korea from those days and the military authoritarian rule to now, and seeing how prosperous it is and how amazing it is now, with the whole world focused on K-beauty, K-culture, K-food, K-dramas. It's incredible.
Yeah, they are really getting famous with for the young people, especially with this K-pop and K-music. The boys coming back from the army now, there is how they
BTS. I think a lot of, like, growing up, our stories from our grandfathers and the war were from years and years and years ago, but the poverty in Korea is still relatively recent. It was until the late 80s that South Korea was less powerful economically than North Korea. They were still funded by the Soviet Union at that point, and it wasn't. I think a lot of people don't realize how recent, Korea's, emergence
economic
has
boom.
Been. And I think, like, looking at, you can maybe give us a good idea, but now going to restaurants and seeing how much food is wasted, the banchan, the side dishes, how much food they throw out without a second thought, thinking that my mother and father-in-law lived through these times when they had no food. They had nothing, no meat, definitely no cheese. But now they throw out food like it's in abundance. And I think it's so fast, or so quickly, that the mindset has changed from, almost scavenging and rationing food to this abundance of just throw it all out. Did you see a huge shift in that from the mentality of we don't have anything to now the youth and the...
I hear from the family of my wife,
Mhm.
they are coming from Masan, a little bit in the back, village called Tesan. They are farmers. My wife is coming from a farmer family, and they were by the North Koreans thrown out of their farmhouse.
Mhm.
The North Koreans came, to the Busan perimeter.
All the way,
It was
yeah,
a
yeah.
Busan perimeter, where still the American forces and the UN forces, together with fighting with them, could resist. But Masan, Tesan area was already in the hand of them. So they evacuated my parents with the children. My wife was not yet born, but the brother was born, older brother. American troops came and they loaded them on trucks and said, come. And they brought them to Busan inside. And the brother of, father of, that means the uncle of my wife, he was policeman, and when they would have caught this policeman, that would be the end for him and his family, the
Yeah.
South Korean. So they arranged for escaping to Japan. They already made a reservation on a fishing boat,
Yep.
paid for the fisherman there to bring them over to Japan in case the perimeter, the Busan perimeter, would collapse.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
and then they went back after the war, and of course everything was burnt down, damaged, the
Yeah.
buildings, the fields. They started very, very poor, and it's incredible the development after the war started. My wife was explaining me about General Park, who was also authoritarian military regime,
Leader,
but he made a big effort to develop the industry here. They developed the shipbuilding industry, the car industry. They built the highways and built up the trees. 1950, after the occupation of the Japanese, there were no trees anymore. The Japanese took all the wood, bring it to Japan for firewood.
It's interesting when you ask someone's opinion on President Park. Well, what do you think of him? And you can tell there's a cultural divide. If you were alive in the 50s and 60s, we loved him. He was great. He really is the reason behind our rapid economic expansion. After, obviously, not so popular. Right?
Did you say you have a daughter here?
Yes, in Yongsan.
How old? Do you have any grandchildren?
No.
No.
She's alone there. No.
Okay. I was just wondering now. I look at my kids and my mother-in-law and stuff, and the gap is very, very big. And she can ask. My kids don't even have phones, but she can ask my kids, "How do I do this on my phone?" or "How do I turn the TV on?" or how, because they grew up very, very, very poor, and my parents and my in-laws are the same age, but the difference is night and day. My father's a tech maniac, and he's Apple this, Apple that, and my mother-in-law can barely answer the phone. So, yeah, it's a very interesting contrast, and I really appreciated spending the last 20 whatever years here, watching Korea evolve, how Canada did before I could remember. But I got to watch it. He was like, "Oh, my grandfather lived like that. Oh, my grandparents did that." Because that's what life was like when I got here. So it was, it was fun to watch through those changes, and you could kind of envision where Korea was going to be based on what my life in Canada was like. They're just 15 years behind. They're just 10 years behind. Now they're 10 years ahead. Now Canada's falling behind.
Incredible, the development in this country.
Yeah.
Incredible.
The couple shipyard ones. I'm just, again, talking about how fast it developed. In 2007, I think late 90s or early 2000, Hyundai took over as the biggest shipyard in the world. But in 2007, they put out 102 vessels.
Okay.
That's one vessel every 3.5 days. That is mind-boggling. And you know the size of the ships. Every 3.5 days putting out one of those ships?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could have a more perfect rise to dominance than that. I don't even know if the Chinese can come close to that still. But 102 of those...
No, but China's only recently. I visited many Chinese shipyards because my company was considering price-wise also to build ships in there. But quality-wise, they could not compete with here Korea. And during the year I spent in Nagasaki, I saw the quality of shipbuilding in Japan. Japan definitely, these are the Rolls-Royce of the ship, or were the Rolls-Royce of the ships. And then Korea, but China could not
Still
follow with the quality.
These days they joke.
here.
All the companies that went to China, all they do is weld. They can't do the rest. All they do is weld the hull. But now they go out to sea for 3 months and they come back to Ulsan for servicing because they have so many problems. So they joke. All those companies that ran to China for cheap ships, they make their maiden voyage and then they're back in the Ulsan shipyard getting fixed up. So I think the quality hasn't changed much. But yeah, I just love.
But of course I saw also in the time I was here in Korea some development of quality. The first ships we built here were quality-wise not always what we really wanted, and then we came back again in 2001. I was here site manager for 2 years for building container ships in Nippon.
Yeah.
And I saw that already then quality was
Much better.
completely increased.
Yeah.
Compared with HHI in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I think the car factory went through the same evolution. The old pony there was a little dodgy.
Hey, he had a pony too.
Years.
But now,
Pony too.
but now Hyundai makes some of the best cars in the world.
Definitely.
They're phenomenal now.
I have.
I've never seen those. What are those?
Here some pictures.
What, can you tell me what this is?
This is the strike action. The
I mean, what's this?
Hyundai shipyard.
What's this one? Oh, he's got a series of pictures here that are not on a phone, tablet, or computer. Incredible.
Oh wow.
So they blocked the whole shipyard there.
These you took all of these?
Yes, I took them.
Wow.
We'll take a picture of these and post them after
Yeah.
for people to look. Wow.
Yeah, just to give you an idea.
Look at all the
ponies.
ponies lined up here.
Yes, that was our site office there where we were working. These were the ships we were building.
Wow.
Bulk
These
carrier,
were
nice.
the cars we had, the Stellar,
Awesome. What memories?
some hash run
Wow, there you go.
group.
Let me see that one.
No protein powder here, eh?
Let me see. No knee,
The hash was usually like a run and then drink beers.
no knee braces. Eh?
And
Knee
the
braces,
famous Poly
headbands.
2 here, the ships we built. Just to give you an idea, pouring of propeller was very impressive here.
Wow.
They
Is
made
this
the pitch.
locally or is this in Pohang?
No, local.
They pour them here.
Yeah.
Wow. Where do you know where they pour these?
Yes, just at the back from, there's the big Hyundai motor
Yeah.
engine. They call it engine, Hyundai engine, truck.
Plant, yeah.
Wow.
And the building behind is where they pour the propellers. Very impressive to go there.
That's crazy.
And at the time, that was our team we had, the supervision team, all from Europe.
Young guys.
A Swiss engineer, a Scottish hull specialist, another Scottish hull specialist, an Italian paint specialist, actually.
Sounds like the beginning of a good joke. A Swiss engineer, an Italian paint specialist, and a
chief officer, our technical director, and me at the time as site manager.
How many foreign subordinates would be part of this crew?
We had only the secretary.
That's it? Only you guys?
As Korean, yeah.
wow.
Now it's completely different. Now
Right.
all of them are we had some cold season, minus 16 degree in
Here?
85.
That's here?
Yeah, that's
Minus
the ship's
16, wow, yeah.
Ship's
Freezing.
shell
Oh.
and water pouring down, which was frozen there.
Make some problems, eh?
Wow, there it is there. Wow. And
I don't know if you're interested.
Yeah, they're
That's
awesome.
really good,
These
yeah.
ships, because this is a podcast, nobody can see them.
Oh, we can
Yeah.
we can put the pictures up
We can-
after that. So it's quite
And
interesting.
that was the time MIPO then, when we built 8
That looks like
container
a
ships
big Maersk
like
book,
this.
yeah.
Maersk chartered them from us for 5 years or what. So they requested that we paint them in
Their colors. You still see them today. They got 2 or 3 there now. The Maersk colors.
Maersk colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the second biggest company in the world for containers. This was the delivery of one of the ships. It was a very formal delivery.
Yeah, that's why I say when they were doing one every 3.5 days here, it was just, they would bring in all the dignitaries, all the
Yeah.
ambassadors, everybody would come.
Yeah. Swiss ambassador from Seoul.
Yeah.
That's some director here, president of HHI.
Yeah, the
Wow.
ribbon cutting ceremonies and stuff were always elaborate, and they would have the ladies there in the uniforms with the trumpets that would blow confetti out. And
Yes. That was a steel cutting ceremony of for the first steel plates.
Wow.
yeah, the whole setup is just incredible. The scope of how they do it and how fast they can do it.
And when the ship was launched, then put in the water, then there was a small ceremony here
Mhm.
with our people and the yard staff.
Were you? What was it like when you came? What was it like when you saw that yard for the first time? Was that similar to maybe a yard in Germany that you've seen, or in Japan, or was it significantly smaller, bigger?
It's much bigger than Nagasaki.
Yeah.
Nagasaki was really in downtown Nagasaki, so squeezed in the
Right.
buildings there.
But you must have also been in some. There must have been some decent-sized yards in Germany, no? No, I thought.
I sailed on German ships, and we went after the maiden voyage of my first ship. We went for the guarantee docking in Blomont-Voss in Hamburg, and what I saw. Comparing with Korea is not very favorable of the Germans.
So even in the mid-'80s, it was already impressive.
In German, the output of a worker is much more limited than it was with a Korean. In Korea, when I was checking the double-bottom tanks, some really hidden corners of the ship for some technical problems, then all of a sudden I see there one guy welding something all alone in a tank.
Yeah.
In Germany, if a guy is alone, he would not work. He would stay and drink his beer and eat his sausage there.
Interesting.
So at least there must be some foreman, some
Somebody to
who is
crack the
checking
whip.
that the people are working.
Oh, that's funny.
So the productivity here in Korea is better than in Germany.
Yeah.
What do you contribute the efficiency here to? We always marvel at it, whether it's repaving the roads overnight.
Yes.
Like
yes.
they start at 9 p.m. and by 6 a.m. you go to work the next day and you go, something's weird. What happened? There's a whole new road. And in Canada, that would take 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you contribute back then? What would you contribute the efficiency of their production to?
Lack of labor unions. No.
Why were they so good back then? No beer and sausage?
Problem is also, of course, then with the end quality. In Switzerland, it's the same as I just said. For this road, it takes maybe half a year to make a big stretch of road.
Mm-hmm.
And in Korea, they do this during one night, as you said, yes. But it's okay, the road looks the same, except when it is raining.
Yeah.
When it's raining, then in Switzerland, the road is wet, but you don't see any lakes on the
Puddles,
on the
yeah.
road.
Puddles.
Puddles.
No, lakes in Korea. You can get some lakes there.
But here in Korea, of course, quality-wise, in the rain, then you can see the difference.
Yeah.
When I was doing some work at SK, working with some of the vice presidents, they would tell me how they could build their facilities and their refineries so fast. And it was because in the West, you have to go through the stages or the steps from initial idea completion to procurement to whatever, the different stages. And in Korea, they do the first 4 stages in one shot. So the day you sign it, procurement's already started. And the next phase is already started. So in Canada, it's like you do stage 1 or phase 1, then you finish, and it takes you a while to get to phase 2. Then you start phase 2. But in Korea, it's as soon as that first paper is signed, all 4 stages are started. And they said they can jump years and months on projects compared to how we do them in Western countries. And I thought, well, why don't we just copy that? I mean, it looks pretty good. You guys can build a whole refinery or a whole new plant, within months. And this was, the inefficiencies back home are incredible. And now you look at China. I know there's some human rights issues and stuff there, but you can't compete with the efficiency of these places. It's impossible. The BYD plant, up within 2 years or something, and it's the size of the province I live in. You can't compete with it. It's just so efficient. And I don't know. I think in Korea now the unions are quite strong. The car union
is breaking, maybe.
The car union is very strong. Always demanding, always going on strike, always asking for more.
Did you say it's breaking?
Yeah, now breaking with the robot. Now Hyundai car company want to introduce more robots. But of course, this is a concurrence to the union work. So they say no robot. So this is, in my opinion, breaking the industrial progress, because robots in a process of fabricating a car is the ideal work tool.
Of course.
Better than a human being.
Of course.
So, of course, I can understand they are seeing a concurrence in the robot to them, so they don't want them. But it is breaking the progress, definitely.
But also maybe why Korea or Hyundai's now, leaning on their factories abroad, because they can use automation. Right. And I think you're going to see the production in Ulsan drop, and the production abroad is going to continue to increase, and they'll just phase the workers out. They just don't hire any new workers.
Yes. All the Tucson, I have a Tucson hybrid. All the Tucsons for Europe are fabricated in Czech.
Right, really? So,
of course, the union is not existing or not strong.
They don't have the control that they have the power in Ulsan is wild. Hey, Hyundai runs the city, and the unions are a very big part of that.
Just one question, speaking of this union and the workforce. You are in the teaching, you are working with young Koreans. The young Koreans don't want to work in the shipyard. it's also the parents behind them. Every young Korean has to go to university.
Sure.
And then, of course, he don't want to go as a welder in the shipyard and weld. He want to go in an office.
Never. I can't speak for everyone. In my experience, most kids want to start at middle management. They would never they call it a 3D job. Dangerous, difficult, and dirty. They don't want any part of that. I mean, these are probably the students that are entering university now, fully supported by their parents. They want to study, get a comfortable job. They call it the 4-sa, so maybe like doctor, lawyer, judge, or what's the other one? Oh, there's one more, but
engineer.
No,
maybe not. That's a job.
Yeah, they want comfort. I think above all, not nothing dangerous, nothing dirty. But
I think maybe you can speak to it. Maybe, Freddy, you want to. This mentality of giving your kids a better life than what you had, right? Is very common. Like I don't want my kids to have the hardships that I had. I'm not saying me. I think for generations this is how it went. You want your kids to live a better life than you did, less hardships. But now we've kind of got to this peak or this crest where they can't live a better life. They can't get anything better than 5G internet, aircon, free school, great health care. You can't get any better than this. No. And the parents don't want their kids to be in these 3D jobs, and they do want to get into, the office with the air, but it's not how it works. You have to work at McDonald's and the gas station to get a job at, the Outback. You have to work at Outback to get a job at here. Otherwise, you don't develop the work ethic. You don't develop the compass to manage problems, to manage teamwork, to learn how to work effectively within a system. And they just want to jump straight in, and you can't do that. So I think you see a lot of kids now being recluses and staying outside of society because they can't function within the society. Mm. I was laughing with my daughter yesterday, seeing the tech big guy at the pet store. You can order anything. You don't have to leave your house anymore. And it's one thing getting groceries, but you're getting your pet supplies now. Like even the little stores, you can get everything delivered. It's incredible. So
and the delivery guys, sometimes they have a degree from a university because they cannot find a job in the industry.
Sure.
So they are doing with the motorbikes.
Lots now. Overeducation. It's a big problem here. It's becoming worse with the AI and the automation. It's not taking out their dad's job. It's taking out all the entry-level jobs. Because like at the shipyard or at the car factory, they're just not hiring young people anymore. Because they will automate those jobs and they will demand more out of their senior employees. So it's not that they're going to cut their dad's jobs, they're just not going to hire a lot of new people. They will replace those with automation. So I find a lot of students who are unmotivated, no ambition, no desire. They work at McDonald's and they go, oh, himdara. Professor, I worked there for 2 weeks. It's so difficult. And I go, working at McDonald's was difficult? And then you look at the union, the labor union, the strikes in these pictures, and you go, these kids have no idea what difficult is. Mm-hmm. They can't comprehend. I try and get my kids.
Your grandpa's saying the same thing to you.
I try and get my kids to talk to my mother-in-law, to understand, what it's like growing up with not a lot. Going to see where my wife grew up. My kids are just like no shower, outdoor toilets. Like my kids can't believe, because they see how I grew up in Canada, and it doesn't match. And they're like, but how did Dad grow up like this, but my mom grew up like this? And Mom says, that's where I went to the bathroom. And it's still there, just a hole in the ground. So I think those things are important, but now a lot of people don't have those experiences. They don't have the perspective to place difficult on a spectrum. Just everything's difficult.
So the shipyards, but also car companies, they are relying now on foreign workers because the young Koreans don't want to do these dirty jobs, 3D jobs.
Right. And as a result, the production is significantly lower than it should be. They just can't produce fast enough because they don't have enough workers.
Yeah. Huh. Let's. I got one more here. Not so much related to this, but reflection and advice. Looking back on your career and your connection with Korea, what makes you proudest? Is there anything you're very proud of that you've accomplished over your time in Korea?
Like with everybody, I think it's a mix of good luck, what you can reach in your life, and sometimes hard work. And for instance, I finished machinery engineering in Switzerland, ceremony of diploma, when the diploma was handed over on a Friday, and I started in next Monday. At in the work.
7 o'clock, that's the key, the 7 o'clock.
Nice.
And now I see the young people, they are first going on a world trip, trip around the world.
Yeah.
After that. Anyway, mixture of hard work, good luck, and sometimes also a wife who is supporting, some other family members who are supporting. So luck, what I said, technical director retired just before, just when I came from my second assignment here in Korea.
So good timing.
So they took me as technical director. That was a big chance for me. Otherwise, I would have ended up my career as still a superintendent.
Nice.
Good luck. That was good luck. But also hard work sometimes.
Of course. I think both are very important.
With such a fleet, we have problem. We have piracy. We have. In Canada, we had also one time a ship who was not really good equipped with the cold temperature. We have fuel oil tanks, heavy fuel oil tanks, who should be heated for transferring this heavy oil into engine room. And the tanks which are not used, they are not heated normally. But it was so cold in Canada, we entered the Great Lake area, that all these heating coils which have in the tank were frozen, and we could not take the fuel out. So the ship ended up in the middle of the bay, Hudson Bay, with no fuel anymore.
Oh no.
Then they had to tow the ship down to Halifax and get new fuel, warm fuel on board. Things like this, of course, because it cost a lot of money and a lot of fighting.
Of course.
Between the technical department and the people who are sitting on the money, because it cost a lot of money, things like this. So not always easy job, what I want to say.
No doubt.
I was happy sailing the time as chief engineer. Also we had there, being at sea, you are your own fireman. If there is a fire on board, you are
doctor,
you are your own doctor. So it's also there it's not like a bookkeeper job, of course. It's also not easy. And having done that and accomplished, it gives a feeling of some kind of fulfillment.
Yes.
Now I'm 77 years old, and my life is in the autumn. And
but good memories reflecting back.
That's it. That's it. Probably profession-wise. Look back, I was working 41 years in the shipping industry.
Wow.
I started as a young machinery engineer in Switzerland in a company who was building big ship engines, and then I went to a postgraduate study in Germany for marine engineering, and then I received a license to go at sea and sailed for many years the 7 seas, and that was really happy.
That's something to be proud of. Yes.
To see all these countries and
yeah.
Maybe last one.
mentalities.
We do have students who are, not so engaged or focused or ambitious, but I think especially at the university, we do have a lot of students who are inspired by the shipyard and know the opportunity Hyundai provides. Any words of advice or encouragement for young engineering students that are, aspiring to work at the shipyard and build some of these big ships?
I think the key is first an education in a technical profession. We have in Switzerland apprenticeship. By side of university, there is also the way out of high school into the apprenticeship. And there are some apprenticeships lasting 4 years, not only apprenticeship in selling something in a supermarket, but in my case, for instance, it was technical construction, 4 years apprenticeship, but also some mechanical jobs are learned there over many years. So this is the first step in Europe to get in touch with the technique, the production.
Yes.
And then the second step would then be going to technical university and getting all the physics and all the science around this.
Sure.
This is not existing actually in Korea. Here is no apprenticeship, very short apprenticeship maybe for these welders.
I think it's...
So for these people, there is no way that they can go further on, let's say, like me, from designer, machinery designer, ending up as a technical director.
Right.
Yeah.
With some study in between. With simple introduction to a technical job, they cannot reach this way.
So get some valuable experience.
There is a difference. We have, of course, in Switzerland also a problem with all the students from the social science who are studying social science and then cannot get a job in the industry. They can only then work in the university on some research project for the university.
Sure. Yeah.
So they should choose engineering or computer technology. This is offering a huge
opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And less this social, but I'm not sure here in Korea how far the social studies are driven, are pushed. Maybe not so much like in Switzerland.
They're phasing them out. They're phasing them out of university. All the majors are amalgamating. It's
in Switzerland they are studying gender, stuff like this, which is useless, completely useless in the industry later on.
Yeah.
I agree.
So for these young people, you should give them advice to step into something which has a future in the industry, and not only social welfare and things like that.
Wow, I think this can be a good topic for our next interview. We can start there next time, but let's I think our time is ticking down here.
You don't want your wife getting angry.
Yes. Freddy's got a hot date.
World Championship.
Yeah.
I got the world ticket for this when I was here 2001 to 2003 for these container ships.
Good timing.
In Mipo.
Wow.
That's awesome. Good souvenir.
Anyways, let's wrap it up. Everyone, thank you for listening. Freddy, thank you for coming down.
Thanks for sharing your stories. Just probably also not the oldest Harley rider, but most interesting person in town also.
Oh,
One plus
the
one.
oldest Harley rider, maybe not the most interesting one.
All right. Well,
Anyway, I'm happy that you could understand my language.
No
it's
problem.
perfect.
And I'm slow speaker. That was also extending.
It's exactly what we want. But anyways, thank you for coming, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.